So we're looking at the plate loaded leg press here, and this leg press in particular is one of interest because there's two independent foot plates and they're controlled by this bolt at the back. So if you go to the back of this particular machine, there's a bolt here that you pull in or out. If you pull this out, it basically means that these two will move independently, and if it's locked, it means that they'll move together. So an important point of distinction there is that if the bolt is out and you're trying to use one leg at a time, just remember that you have to put the weights on that side. So on some leg presses, it doesn't matter what side you put the weight on, but if you're using one leg at a time, you want to make sure you're putting the appropriate weight on that side. Okay, so that's that out of the way. As I said, two different ways you can use this. The first one is just using two legs at the same time. So when you're using two legs at the same time, you're going to have the bolt in, you're going to hold on to the handles, you're going to press the weight off the plate, then you need to take off the safety bars by bringing those handles out to the side, and now that weight is free to move. So what you're going to do here is bring the weight down nice and slowly, as low as is comfortable, and then press it back up. All the time you're trying to keep your back flat on the pad, bum on the bench, and keeping those knees nice and aligned behind the feet. Okay, you're also trying to keep the heels down. You don't want them to be lifting up, and that can kind of be your gauge for where your bottom position is. So if your lower back is staying flat, your feet are staying flat, then you're good to try and go a bit deeper to the point where you can't really keep that anymore. Okay, so with that said, you can re-rack the weight. Rest it down slowly, make sure the safety bars are on, and then if you want to perform it unilaterally, as I said, all you need to do, one leg at a time, pull the bolt out. Now they're free to move independently. So what Paddy's going to do here is he's lifting up both legs, taking the safeties off, and now those weights are actually moving independently. So in this case, he has the freedom to move one leg at a time. So you can choose to perform this in multiple ways. You can just do it with both legs at the same time, both down, but the weights are still moving independently. You can do one leg at a time, but it's a little bit awkward when you're holding the weights together. What we generally recommend is that you place one down, so you can rest that in, place that foot down, rest the other leg down, and then use one leg at a time. So from there, you can just freely move one leg at a time, keeping the other one relaxed, rather than having to hold both at the same time. So obviously, you've got the freedom there, multiple different ways of doing it, but if you're doing it with one leg, just remember, take the bolts off. If you're doing it with two legs, make sure the bolt is on unless instructed to do otherwise. So overall, all those variations are great exercises for the lower body. So for strengthening up the thigh muscles, the quads here at the front of the thigh, as well as the bum muscles and the hamstrings as well, and just the general lower body, they're going to be great for that.